Hi everyone, I am Regine Booth. I am the Center Director for Behavioral Innovations at our McKinney location, and we're really excited today to be able to meet with Julie Hornok. Julie is an author, an autism advocate, and also a speaker as well. And I am super excited because I want to be able to share with you today the new book that Julie just wrote. It's called United in Autism, Finding Strength Inside the Spectrum. She just published and released her book back in October of last year. And I wanted to share with you guys how I met Julie.
Kind of a funny story,
It
isn't
is,
Yeah.
it is. And so I was on my way to my morning yoga on a weekend, and at this yoga studio by my place, when I walked in, I found this book sitting on the shelf in the studio. And for some reason, it just, I zeroed in on it, and it just called to me, and I was, really intrigued. And I asked the manager at the studio, I said, tell me more about this book. I would love to be able to meet the author who wrote this book, because I work with kiddos with special needs, specifically kiddos on the autism spectrum. And I would love to be able to connect with this author. And that's when the yoga studio manager introduced me to Julie, because Julie, you teach at the studio as well.
Yeah, and it's funny because I only teach one class a week at one place.
Yes.
And that's how we ended up meeting.
Yes.
And you ended up coming to my class and we talked, and it was just,
Yes.
I think sometimes people are meant to meet, so I'm thrilled that I got to meet you.
Right. I feel the same way. And so Julie was kind enough to share this book with me, and I had the privilege to be able to read the stories within this book. It actually encompasses 30 stories of families all around the world. And these are families that have kiddos on the spectrum themselves that have gone through that journey. And so I would love for Julie to be able to share with us, her passion and the reason why she decided to write this book.
Absolutely. I am an autism mom. I have a daughter. She's now 16 years old. And life was just really, really hard whenever she was young. And it has gotten a lot easier now. But it was super hard. Mm-hmm. And I know that when I was in the trenches of that, I just felt hopeless. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to find out, okay, let's go to every imaginable country, and every child, no matter if they're severe or not severe, in the middle, no matter if the parents have money, if they don't, no matter what religion, no matter what race.
Yes.
Let's see if there's some universal keys to being okay in this journey. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I started interviewing parents, and I, everywhere, I just would find and be connected to these parents, which is so cool because I felt like I could talk to them. Because as parents, when you've been told your child has autism, it's like you have an instant bond and connection to the other parents. And I walk in a room and we don't even need to start with small talk. It's like we're already there. We've heard this, we've all felt the same emotions. And so we were able to talk in depth about life with autism and how hard it is. And all of these families that are interviewed and chosen for the book, they are rocking it, basically.
Yes.
And so they share kind of the different things they've done to be okay, and they share the different ways that they've actually given back to the community, which I think is a big key to being happy in this journey. And so I love that I got to do that and meet all of them and put it into a book. And I love that Temple Grandin was so kind to write the foreword.
Yes.
I mean, that was really awesome. Who doesn't love her? She's amazing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then hopefully we're going to use this book to now go nationally with these moms events.
Awesome. Yes. Julie, you're also the Vice President of the National Autism Association for North Texas. I know you're very passionate and dedicated and active in planning special events for moms with kiddos with autism, to really take the time for them to come out to join other moms, to look for that support and resource, and also to really just take the time to focus on themselves and pamper themselves, because it's not easy, doing what they do every day. So can you tell us more about the events that you help organize? And
Absolutely. I was kind of, for that 5 or 6 years, I think I didn't think eat or breathe anything other than autism. And all of my relationships fell off, not because people weren't reaching out to me, but I quit accepting them reaching out to me. I mean, as parents, we don't mean to isolate ourselves, but we do. And it's unintentional, but it happens because it's just too hard. And so I kind of woke up one day and realized that I didn't have any friends left and that I hadn't talked to other moms. And I wanted to give moms, now that my daughter was doing a little bit better and I had more free time, I wanted to give moms just the ability to come out and to meet other moms.
Yes.
And so we started doing this through the National Autism Association of North Texas, like
Yes.
you said. And we thought, oh, we're going to give them a nice time. They're going to have a break. It'll be great, But we didn't realize that during that 5 hours they were together, these bonds and relationships were forming where now they had their lifeline. And so one of the things that's so incredibly important as moms is that we have found our community.
Yes.
And we have to, when we're out on that ledge, we have to be able to call a friend and really call and hear their voice and say, I can't do this today. Like, I'm literally done, because there's so many times we think that.
Right.
And so we need to make those friendships. It's so important, and you have to make them in person. You can do it online, but it's just not the same. And if you meet somebody in person and you connect with them, you can continue it online.
Absolutely.
And so then these women talk about how they come to the events every year and this is the only time they see each other, but they talk all year long. And it's just something I want to take and bring across the country, and then maybe across to other countries after that. So we have 6 events planned so far for this year, and we're adding, and that's just until the summer, and then we'll add in the fall. And so we're just trying to take it and get as many moms to come and meet each other as possible.
That's so wonderful that you provide a venue, a time and an event for these moms to come together and to share with each other their stories, to provide that support that they are each seeking, and to be able to also give them the opportunity to give back and help out other moms who are just beginning their journey. So I know we've talked about, kind of the 3 things that, you focus on through your efforts in supporting these moms. So if you can share with us those 3 things again.
Absolutely. So when I interviewed kind of not knowing what I was going to find. I mean, I was doing a whole bunch of people that, they're all connected only by autism, nothing else in common, talking to people I had nothing else in common. So I wanted to see if there was just any string that went through.
Right.
And so I did. I found those 3 things. And the first thing is that they all grieved. And they didn't grieve the same at all. Yeah. I mean, all people grieve differently, and all people grieve at different times. And part of that grieving process is when you realize that autism is the rest of your life. And so that's the big thing for me, is like, I didn't grieve for 2 years. So, I waited until I realized this was forever. And we do have that sense of we're going to fix our kids. And so when you get there, then you can grieve. And then you continue to grieve in waves, as different families you'll see their kids doing certain things your kids can't do, and it's random little things. Like for me, one of the times I just remember it came out of nowhere and I didn't realize it was going to hit me was when I saw a pink limo come and pick up, it's like that sweet and sassy place at the mall, come and pick a bunch of girls up, and I was just like sat on the curb and bawled because, my daughter wasn't invited to things like that, and she wasn't getting invited to friends or parties or anyone's house or anything like that, and it was really hard for me. So we had grieving, and then the second thing was finding community, and that's what I'm trying to do through the book and all around the United States, is trying to bring people together so that they can meet their community, because we are just so much stronger together.
Absolutely.
We don't, I mean, there's the time you get together with people, you build off the ideas, and everything just seems not as bad. And it seems like your life is torture when you compare it to the typical family's lives, or what you think of their lives,
Right.
And then it's like, oh, well, you're dealing with the same horrible things I'm dealing with.
And just the sense and the feeling that you're not alone.
Yes, I know. There is nothing worse than feeling alone.
Right.
And so it's taking away that isolation, not just for one night, but for good, if you can meet a friend. So we have the grieving, and then we have community, and we have service. And the service is going out and giving back. And I'm not talking like go start a nonprofit. I'm talking like do something super simple, where you just pay for the person behind you at Starbucks, or you open the door for an old lady, or anything. If you have begun to get knowledge in the autism world, I mean, turn around and give it back. Get on a board on Facebook, because you know they're on Facebook all day long. It's our only outlet. So get on Facebook and just go answer some questions other people have, because you have knowledge.
Right, and share the information.
Yeah.
And share your own experiences.
Yeah, it gives you the understanding of, okay, I didn't go through this for nothing, you know, and I can help others. And so those were kind of the string every one of them had in common, which was so cool to see it across like all cultures, all countries, all, you know,
that must have been an amazing experience to be able to meet all these families around the world.
Well, and it's neat because now people reach out to me all the time from different countries. And so even countries I hadn't called and found someone, I am hearing from them and I'm hearing their stories. So it just continues to spur.
That's great.
Yeah. And I do think that's another piece that we don't always talk about, is what it's going to take for the world to understand autism is us sharing our stories. Every one of us, because it affects so many now, you know.
Yes. Well, we so appreciate Julie for joining us today, and for me to be able to talk with you and to share this book with everybody. You can find this book, United in Autism, online at unitedinautism.com or on Julie's Facebook.
Or Amazon.
Amazon.
Anything.com. Amazon, Target, Walmart, whatever.
Yes.
Barnes & Noble. All,
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you.